First of all, thank you for inviting me to share my thoughts and experience for Iskandar Malaysia. And congratulations, Iskandar Malaysia, for being 20 years anniversary.
Yeah.
And I think when we talk about Iskandar Malaysia, most people really attach it to the CDP, Comprehensive Development Plan. So when we first started Iskandar Malaysia in 2006, of course, it covers a vast land of about 2,300 square kilometer big. And at that time, of course, we need some guidance on how we should develop Iskandar Malaysia. And as you know, Iskandar Malaysia is all about bringing in economy, bringing in investment to the region. But at the same time, we strongly feel that without benefit to the people on the ground and without taking care of the environment, it means nothing to make Iskandar Malaysia vision to become the international standing metropolis. So at the same time, we actually look at various benchmarks to see what would be the best example that we can actually look for Iskandar Malaysia. Of course, we benchmark Dubai, we benchmark Shenzhen and things like that. And I think we realized that at the end of the day, we do not want only a region which is good in investment, but we want to make sure that there is a balance in social development as well as environment. And I think that's actually the basis of creating this CDP based on making it an investment destination, making it a destination where people can get jobs, people can actually increase their income, but at the same time trying to make sure that whatever development that we do, taking care of the environment, the natural environment and so forth. That's the basis of CDP. When we first started 2006, we know that we want to bring in many investment to the area, and at the same time, we feel that we need to focus this economic sector in a specific zone.
I see.
And the idea of this flagship zone is that so each of this economic sector that we identify, they have their own requirement in terms of infrastructure, in terms of incentive and so forth. And the idea of this flagship zone is actually to concentrate this economic sector as well as job opportunity, so that we can actually plan where will be the affordable housing. We can also plan how to link or to connect between this residential to this flagship area. Let's say if we want to make Senai, for example, and aerospace and logistic, for example. So we need to make sure that we can actually plan a good highway that link from port, for example, to Senai Airport.
I see.
So having this flagship area help us to really focus on our infrastructure. And when we try to bring in that economic sector to that flagship, this is where we introduce incentive. And of course, I think our economic people always say it's very difficult to tell these people, please come to flagship D, please come to flagship E.
Yeah.
Of course, it's an open market.
Yes.
You know, when they decided that they want to come to certain area, of course they will look at land price. So most of the time when we look at flagship, flagship is already a developed, ready land to actually invest on certain type of economy.
Okay.
So if we are looking at land price, for example, of course the land price in flagship area will be much more expensive than the one outside. But at the same time, some of our investors, they don't want to spend on infrastructure. So this is where government funding plays an important role to actually help to catalyze economy in certain areas. But importantly, even when we plan for public transportation, it is much more easier if we know exactly, what type of people who are going to go to this type of flagship. For example, if they are actually industrial people, so where should we link the road? I think when we first start CDP 1, of course we have that 9 economic sector. So we have existing, which is manufacturing, industrial, which is manufacturing, logistic and so forth. But we also have the emerging sector. So emerging sector will be more like we look at services, education, healthcare, tourism and so forth. So in trying to understand where people should go, where they should invest, where are the available land, so flagship plays the important role, because flagship has this what we call a hypothetical boundary, which enable us to facilitate incentive.
I see.
Yeah. So it's flagship zone is very important.
Flagship zone very important. Until today, it's still.
Yeah, until today, and I think as most of us know, when we create Johor Special Economic Zone, we have actually include another local authority in our region. Not actually include, but also take consideration of Pengerang. Because at the same time, we know that Pengerang has vast land banks. They already embarked on this oil and gas. And I think if we look at the coastline of Desaru, Kuala Tinggi and so forth, we have a very long coastline which we can actually take it as opportunity for tourism purpose.
I see.
So under JSEZ, Pengerang is actually beside oil and gas. They are also looking at tourism.
So with including Pengerang as part of GSSEZ, does that increase the value of GSSEZ as a whole?
Yes, it does. Because at the end of the day, as you know, Pengerang itself with the oil and gas industry has actually attract a lot of investment.
I see.
When we first start CDP, it's all about sustainability.
Right.
So I think that's a natural evolvement of any city. Yeah. You want to be good in your economic growth, but at the same time you need to be sustainable. So sustainable actually an easy, if in 2006 is simple 3 circle. We have economy, how we want to balance economy, social and environment. Yeah. So those are actually 2006. But again, when we actually evolve and we actually develop, it started in 2010, 2012 when the world has already looked at digital, internet connectivity, looking at computer system and so forth as our future. So when we look at CDP, it's actually a living document, and this is how CDP 2 and CDP 3 has actually evolved. Even when you compare CDP 1 and CDP 2, if you look at the diagram of sustainability also change. I mean, I'm not sure whether people realize it or not. From a simple 3 circle, it has become an intertwined circle that actually integrate, inclusive of 3 economy, social and development, social and environment. And I think development is not as simple as that when we first started 2006. Maybe in 2006 we focus on building the foundation. So that's why I think the first 5 years when I first joined IRDA, we focus on blueprints. Yeah. So I think you've heard there are many blueprints. So people always ask me, why do you need to do many blueprints? So blueprint is actually create a foundation to give us direction where we want to go, how we should do it, and what are the challenges that we will face in order to realize what's in the blueprint. And I think at that time, not many people also realized that we have actually, the government of Malaysia has actually put in so much money in building the infrastructure, and we actually request the funding looking at what are the content of the blueprint that we have developed. I think when we look at Iskandar Malaysia, although we are economic driven, I need to emphasize that without the people on the ground can benefit and capture, get involved in the economy that we are bringing in, it does not mean anything for Iskandar Malaysia. So I did a 5-minute presentation.
Oh, yeah.
Present to Datuk Sri Najib,
And then?
and I talk about smart city.
Alright.
Yeah, because I told them that again, why I want to relate to CDP. Because if we only look at economy only, which is digital, and then the community at ground will not benefit or they don't understand, then the idea of digitalization of Malaysia will not be sustainable. But smart city talks about how the 6th dimension also involve people, how people should also embrace, and how the smart living should also be appreciated by the people on the ground. And of course, do you know when we talk about challenge, when I present, 2 of their advisors is actually from Korea and Japan. In 2012, Japan and Korea has already very advanced
With the smart city.
with digital.
Oh, digital.
Yeah. So they have already everything in their fingertip using handphone at that time, 2012. So they challenge me. They say, why you want to take care of people? People already understand what it is. Why you in your smart city you mention that we should educate people, we should make sure that when we do smart living, they know how to use it. Because at that time, the Japanese and the Koreans, they are already advanced. They cannot imagine why we don't understand.
Oh, I see.
You know? So I think it's a big turnaround, because when I explain to them, our Malaysia people at that time, 2012, is not actually digital savvy. And they are like, you are not digital savvy.
It'd be a wonder to them. How come not yet?
And I think at the end of the day, okay, the Prime Minister say, okay, I agree with you. Can you go back to Malaysia? I give you about 1 or 2 months. You gather all your friends that you have that can help you, and then we go to San Jose. You present to me, then we'll see if that's what Malaysia should be. Like I mentioned, maybe I talk about the hardest first. The hardest thing that we need to fulfill in CDP is actually on environment.
Right.
Yeah, because when we bring in investment, there are many times that we have to sacrifice our environment. But at the same time, in year 2014, I think in year 2010 already we have started the low carbon city framework. Yeah. So when we talk about low carbon city framework, we are talking about how we can actually reduce our carbon emissions. So in fact that there is a power struggle there. The environment people trying to actually reduce the carbon emission, but the investment that come are using a lot of energy, a lot of water,
gas,
and land are also trees are also being cut down. So our biggest challenge is how to balance those two. And we have ways to do that. And I think from year 2010, when we talk about low carbon city, we managed to actually promote the idea of sustainability also to the developer.
So although maybe their carbon emission is high,
Mm-mm.
but they also do many things to make sure that it can become counter. Yeah. But again, the most successful for Iskandar Malaysia, I feel, is when we talk about CDP, is actually underlying the social development program.
Right.
Yeah, because I think when we talk about investment,
Mm-hmm.
most city in Malaysia, we are actually good in investment. We can attract investment.
Investors.
We can bring in investors.
Yeah.
But again, how it actually benefit the people on the ground. GSEZ has a different economic strategy actually, and to complement what Iskandar Malaysia has achieved and developed for the last 18 years. Yeah. As you know, just now we mentioned about the 5 flagship zone. So most of this flagship zone has actually been developed and optimized. So if you look at Iskandar Malaysia as a whole, as the land, the only area that has not yet been developed is on the northern part.
Yeah.
So if you enter Iskandar Malaysia through the north-south highway, you can see a vast of palm oil land.
Yeah.
Okay, that about 20-30 kilometers, you will see the left and the right side is all palm. Okay, so I think it's about time that Iskandar Malaysia or IRDA had to bring development up to that corridor. And the only way we can do that is, of course, we need a rebranding of economic strategy, one. And then second, we need to bring in heavy infrastructure to that area. Remember when we first started our Iskandar Malaysia 206, the first thing we do is building all the highways that link from one flagship to another. So that corridor has not been fully developed due to some constraint in terms of focusing infrastructure currently down south. So when we embark on GSEZ, we know there are a lot of land opportunity there. And when we look at land opportunity, then we can actually integrate with the emerging sector that I mentioned just now, that looks at digital, that looks at more on high-tech, intelligent type of industry. I think Iskandar Malaysia should continue to become the investment destination that that can bring in new type of investment. And in order to do that, Iskandar Malaysia should always be the pioneer in everything.
Right.
Not only in investment, but also in other things when we talk about sustainability, environment and so forth. For Iskandar Malaysia, we should be ensure that when we bring in investment, it should benefit the people at the ground, and we should find way to balance it with the environment. Meaning that we should not only focus on economy or investment, we should always look at that, how to make Iskandar Malaysia a sustainable region. Of course, I mentioned just now, introducing smart city at regional level, at local authority level, and also at national level.
I see. Yeah.
I would like to wish Iskandar Malaysia to become the right destination for investment, and the right destination where sustainability has not been forgone. And Iskandar Malaysia should continue and strive to be a sustainable region which balance investment, environment as well as social